As the night wore on, the conversation took a sinister turn. Anissa and Morgan began whispering about a faceless entity rumored to haunt the woods, preying on the vulnerable. Peyton brushed it off as fiction, but her friend's obsession with the myth soon became unsettling. Anissa and Morgan spoke of sacrificing a friend to appease the Slender Man, to prove their loyalty and gain his favor. Peyton laughed nervously, dismissing their words as a joke, obviously, but the fear gnawed at her insides. Then came morning, a morning that would change everything. In this era of digital connectivity, platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok have emerged as powerful arenas shedding light on crimes that might otherwise escape the attention of conventional authorities or media channels. From shocking revelations to disturbing exposés, these stories have captivated the collective attention of internet users worldwide. You may have come across the captivating story narrated and written, and mostly just recorded from her own traumatic experience, Teresa Tisa Johnson. Her 50-part TikTok narrative went viral, garnering astonishing views per video. Netizens spent entire weekends trying to uncover the truth behind the mysterious character Risa Tisa Mary. Her videos received over 400 million impressions in less than 3 weeks. The divorcee started it off by posting a stitched video in which she asked, "What's the most fucked up thing that your ex did to you?"
What's a fucked up thing that your ex did to you?
During COVID, my ex called me crying. I was at work. He was at work. He called to tell me that his grandmother passed away suddenly from COVID. She was about 85, 86 years old. The whole family was distraught. He said he talked to his brother. He talked to another brother. They weren't going to be able to have a funeral because it was COVID. There were so many restrictions. He told me that she had died down in Augusta. We live in Metro Atlanta. And so he was going to try to make arrangements to bring her up to Atlanta so she could be buried next to his grandfather. He was completely beside himself, wouldn't eat, just spent days just agonizing and in a lot of emotional pain. And it was a really difficult situation. Later on, I then discovered his grandmother died in 2008. He had not spoken to his brother since 2015. And that is when I discovered that I had married a pathological liar.
Johnson's addictive tales about her ex led to appearances on Good Morning America, the Tamron Hall Show. Her story also made its rounds everywhere, from summarized TikTok snippets to the likes of TMZ, The Washington Post, Time, and beyond. Risa Tisa has shared that she was both excited and apprehensive about sharing her story, but noted that it was well worth it. She has taken her first solo trips to luxurious bungalows around Florida just to start, starting off on Key Largo.
All-inclusive, adults-only resort located in Key Largo, Florida. I did some research, booked my tickets, and came here for some R&R. So this is me headed towards my bungalow that was assigned to me. And I'm going to give you guys the bungalow tour.
And she also signed with the agency CAA recently. So it looks like, I don't know, she might have a lot of projects coming soon. So I'm super excited to see what goes down. But this isn't the first time someone spilled the tea on social media. We are diving into the world of viral social media crime stories that made it big enough to hit the silver screen.
Zola.
By day, Zola served wings and beers, delighting guests seated in her section with her radiant smile. And when her shift was over and the moon ascended to the night sky, she shed her orange shorts for glistening sequins, transforming into a mesmerizing dancer at the strip club. Hey, I got nothing wrong with strip clubs here. I'm from Atlanta, and that's what we are primarily known for. One busy day serving at Hooters, one of Zola's co-workers approaches her. "Hey, just sat some customers at your table." As Zola approaches her new guest, She's prepping herself, fixing any flyaways in her hair. You know what I'm talking about if you worked in the restaurant industry before. Back in my day, when I was waitressing at this Cajun joint, I knew the guest set in my section would tip more if I was looking good. Had on a little bit of makeup, the hair was popping. So you always want to look your best to receive the most tips, because, a lot of times people are like, oh, she's cute. Oh, she must be working hard. Tip her a little bit extra. So Zola approached the table, and sitting there was a striking blonde beauty and some guy. Zola and the blonde beauty, her name is Jessica, start a conversation and quickly realize they have a lot in common. They are both dancers and want to accomplish big dreams. So Jessica invites Zola to dance with her at a club one night, and they become instant friends. Jessica proposes that Zola join her on a road trip to Tampa, Florida, the location of a strip club where Jessica claims they can make a significant amount of money. I mean, the amount of money that is like gonna change your lives. I mean, the amount of money that a lot of the exotic dancers were making here in Atlanta when the Super Bowl occurred here, because I heard that the dancers in the most popular nightclubs here, all the rappers were going there and the dancers were leaving out with like trash bags of money. So Zola decides, she sets out to Tampa with Jessica, her mysterious Jessica's mysterious friend, and Jessica's dim-witted boyfriend, this dude named Derek.
Clean your butt!
Word.
And that's where this wild story begins. In October 2015, Isaiah Wells, also known as Zola, took to Twitter to tell an incredibly gripping story that proves not every friendly face has the best intentions. This thread remains one of the top true crime viral threads. Her 148th thread delved deep into a wild tale of sex, prostitution, murder, self-exit, and jaw-dropping drama. This thread caused so much havoc in the Twitter sphere, but like in all the Twitter sphere, but especially in the Black Twitter sphere, that celebrities like Missy Elliott contacted Zola and commented on and commended her for sharing her story.
James Franco possibly want to know about me, but he just seemed really intrigued, and so I was like, I think this could work. So then at that point, there was a completely different team of writers, and they had wrote a script that I really wasn't too happy.
Rolling Stone even wrote an article. Zola tells all, the real story behind the greatest stripper saga ever tweeted by David Kushner. And it didn't take long either for everyone's favorite indie film production company, A24, to contact Zola and speak with her about adapting her Twitter thread. So then came the film titled Zola, after Zola. She's the main character, of course, so just remember that for later. So the movie premiered in 2020. It starred Taylor Page as Zola and Riley, sorry if I butchered this last name, It starred Riley as Jessica, and a fun fact about this is Taylor Page won the Best Female Lead award for her portrayal in this movie at the Independent Spirit Awards, and Riley is also Elvis Presley's eldest granddaughter, so I don't know, that's pretty cool, right? Zola and Jessica's male friend and Jessica's boyfriend hop into a car. Oh, and that male friend, that mysterious dude, his name is Z. So remember him. They hop into a car and they hit the road to Florida. Everything is going great. They're listening to music, dancing in the car. I mean, it's a great road trip. It's one of the ones that anytime you go on a great road trip, you just, look back at it later and think, man, that was so much fun. But so they're driving and they're dancing, they're having a good time until they reach Tampa, where things start to go wrong. It turns out that Z is not just a friend, he's Jessica's pimp. First night out, Jessica and Zola hit the club and the money is flowing, but Z, he's not satisfied with just dancing, so he sets up online ads for Jessica, pushing her into full service work. Zola, she wants no part of it, but she sticks around. So then things start to really just spiral out of control. Jessica's client list grows and grows, and Zola becomes an unwilling accomplice, watching over Jessica and handling the drama that comes with this seedy industry. The climax of the story occurs when Jessica's boyfriend, he attempts to harm himself out of jealousy and despair. He is unsuccessful, however, but this event prompts Zola to take action.
Run.
After days of being locked in a motel room and not really having any interactions with the outside world, she does manage to escape and manages to call for help, which leads to a police intervention that puts the end to the nightmare. After returning to Detroit, Zola's life is forever changed, as you can imagine, by this intense experience. So then she takes to Twitter to share her story, turning this harrowing ordeal into a viral sensation that captures the imagination of the entire internet. But the most unbelievable part of real life Zola, you guys remember, real life Zola, the mastermind behind this entire story, was snubbed as a writer for the movie. What's more, she wasn't even invited to the 2021 Independent Spirit Awards, where the film Zola received 7 nominations, including Best Screenplay. She took to Twitter to express her frustration, calling it hilarious that she was left out of the writers category, despite being the one who pretty much wrote the entire story that inspired the movie and then the script. So come on. And have explored the deepest and darkest corners of the internet, you are more than likely familiar with creepypastas. One of the more popular creepypastas influenced everything from Halloween costumes to video games to documentaries to an attempted murder. Slender Man is a creepy concoction of internet culture that grew from a forum post into a modern day legend, blurring the lines between digital nightmares and real world horror. Picture this. It's 2019 and the internet is still gaining ground as a breeding ground for creepy things. Eric Knudsen, aka Victor Surge, drops 2 black and white photos of kids playing with a towering, faceless figure lurking in the background. This wasn't just any dude in a suit though. This figure lurking in the background was Slender Man, as he became known, was a tall, unnervingly thin figure with elongated limbs, a featureless face, sometimes sprouting extra tentacle-like appendages from his back. Kind of similar to the Demogorgon thing in Stranger Things, where it like gets its legs and he's like towering over the elementary school. They shoot that here in Atlanta too, by the way, so what's up? ATL hole. Slender Man's lore spiraled quickly out of control. Stories painted him as an evil entity who stalks, abducts, and traumatizes children. He hangs out in dark forests, waiting to pounce on his next victim, manipulating them into committing horrific acts or vanishing without a trace. Vanishing without a trace, Anissa thought, as she read through more posts on the creepypasta website. She started to notice Slender Man's pattern of abducting kids. Anissa began to believe Slender Man actually existed and became obsessed with the character. She even thought she had private telepathic conversations with him. Anissa had become so attached to this creepypasta fan-made character that she couldn't ignore it. Maybe if she proved her loyalty to Slender Man, he could grant her the life she always dreamed of, away from her family, away from Wisconsin. When Anissa told her friend Morgan about her latest creepypasta obsession, she was fondly surprised to see Morgan engage and also interested in Slender Man. So they proposed a plan, killing a classmate to become Slender Man's proxies. What better way to show our loyalty, she thought. Anissa and Morgan hatched a devious plan and kept it secret for months until May 30th, 2014. On the morning after their rounds at the skating rink and their sleepover to celebrate their friend Peyton's 12th birthday, the morning sunlight filters through the blinds, casting gentle patterns on the bedroom walls. Peyton thinks, it's my day. It's the day after my 12th birthday. I should be ecstatic, right? But for some reason, something feels off. Morgan, Peyton's best friend since 4th grade. She's usually the life of their sleepovers. She always pushes to stay up late, laughing and joking. And then Anissa rambles about the latest creepypasta story that she recently read. But last night, both Anissa and Morgan wanted to go to bed early. Strange, Peyton thought, but brushed it off. She remembered the night before how their conversation took a sinister turn. Anissa and Morgan began whispering about a faceless entity rumored to haunt the woods, preying on the vulnerable. Peyton brushed it off as fiction. Her friend's obsession with the myth soon became unsettling. Anissa and Morgan spoke of sacrificing a friend to appease the Slender Man, to prove their loyalty and gain his favor. Peyton laughed nervously, dismissing their words as a joke, but the fear gnawed at her insides. That morning, everything would change. Morgan and Peyton instantly clicked when they met in 4th grade. Over the years, their bond grew and the girls became like sisters. That is until 6th grade when Anissa entered the picture. Peyton never liked Anissa. There was something different about her. But for Morgan's sake, Peyton tolerated her, even when they became obsessed with these creepy pastas and talking about the Slender Man at her birthday party. But after breakfast, the 3 girls decided to go to the park. A bit of fresh air after the night of celebration sounds like a good idea. But as they were walking, Morgan and Anissa just kept whispering to themselves. The park is quiet, the perfect setting for a little game. Or so Peyton thinks. They head to the bathroom where suddenly Anissa just shoves Peyton into the wall. The two 12-year-old girls in Wisconsin, claiming to act under Slender Man's influence, lured their friend into the woods and brutally attacked her. Thankfully, Peyton survived, but the incident cast a dark shadow over the once fictional horror, proving the internet's power to bring even its most sinister creations to life. Morgan and Anissa were later caught and were imprisoned for their actions. That whole town of Wisconsin just went up in uproar after the whole crime occurred, really wanting justice.
It has been brought to our attention that our operative overlooked crucial information regarding the Slender Man film. It is our responsibility to share all the details. Slender Man is a 2018 horror thriller film distributed by Sony Pictures, directed by Sylvan White. The film Slender Man centers on a group of teenage girls who summon the Slender Man through an online video. The movie explores their descent into madness and the horror that ensues as Slender Man targets them. The film received mixed to negative reviews. Enumclaw horse case.
Let's dive into one of the most disturbing and bizarre cases to hit the interwebs. This unsettling tale begins in the city of Enumclaw, Washington, around the mid-2000s. It's a warm summer day, and Kenneth has a secret that even his closest friends at Boeing don't know about. His closest co-workers at Boeing, which has been under recent fire. They've been dealing with a lot of controversies in the news, if you guys have been seeing that, which is really scary since they are one of the top suppliers for the airplane industry, but whatever. Anyway, back to the story. This is mid-2000s. It's a warm summer day, and you've got Kenneth, and he has a really big secret that his closest friends don't know about. But today, he's not Kenneth, the engineer. He is Mr. Hands. His double life beckons him to a secluded farm, an unassuming place that hides a world of dark desires. The farm looks like any other rustic farm, peaceful, lots of grass, lots of land, but it's far from it. The barn, his hidden sanctuary, looms ahead. The horses are there, magnificent and powerful, but there's one stallion in particular that catches his eye. He's the one that he's come for, that horse. So Kenneth prepares himself. His adrenaline is surging as he gets into position. The cameras are ready, documenting everything for this private collection. It's a ritual, a twisted one, of course, that he's come to know all too well. As the stallion approaches Kenneth, his heart races faster. The farm became a hub for a group of men involved in bestiality. I'm not talking about furries. No. I'm talking about bestiality. It's disgusting. This disturbing activity came to light in July 2005 following the death of a man named Kenneth opinion. He was an engineer at Boeing who led a double life online, where his pseudonym was Mr. Hands. Benèt, along with his friends, frequented this farm to engage in activities with horses, a fetish that, while exceedingly rare, this group's activities were meticulously documented on video, which they shared within their niche community, but of course, it didn't stay there. The act caused a perforation in his colon, leading to fatal internal injuries. Benèt was dropped off anonymously at a nearby hospital after trying to this horse, and he was dropped off at the hospital already dead. He was already dead on arrival to the hospital, which is crazy. The hospital staff, baffled and horrified, alerted the authorities, leading to a full investigation that uncovered the group's activities. The case sent shockwaves through the community. What is this place again? Enumclaw, Washington. I'm sure they did not have a ton else going on, so when this happened, they were the talk of the town. It sparked a national debate about the legality and ethics of bestiality, which is like why do we need to even consider, like, this should just be wrong. It's like, no, why are we talking about ethics and legality? Bestiality is just wrong. In Washington state, bestiality wasn't explicitly illegal at the time. So there was a loophole that the case quickly closed. So lawmakers were swift to act in enacting legislation that made sexual activities with animals a felony, which is wild to think about. That people, I don't know, it's crazy. The Enumclaw horse case remains one of the most infamous examples of extreme human behavior crossing legal and moral boundaries.
The 2007 film Zoo, directed by Robinson DeVore, is a documentary drama that explores the infamous 2005 Enumclaw horse case. Zoo takes an unconventional approach to its subject matter, blending documentary footage with dramatized reenactments. Zoo received mixed reviews, with some critics praising its daring and sensitive handling of a difficult subject, while others found it too abstract or ambiguous.
We're gonna end it there. So go watch your favorite cartoon, go watch your favorite like comedic show. I don't know, something cozy, so you don't have to think about bestiality too much anymore, because that shit's crazy. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you made it all this way, say that. Please just comment that. I don't even know what to think anymore.